Welcome back, everybody, to Merc with a Movie Blog. I am Josh the Merc Rayner here with a new movie review, something I haven't done in a while, so I wanted to get back to that. And I am here to talk about the new Sony Marvel film, Morbius. That's right. The new Morbius film has come out. Not too very good reviews from most, but I'm going to tell you this right off the bat. I actually dug it a bit. So my review, it's not going to be as bad as everybody else's. So if you're not looking for a negative review, or if you're looking for a negative review, I should say, then this may not be for you. But if you're looking for something a little bit on the more positive side, then strap in because we're about to talk a little bit of Morbius. And just so you know, I am going to be talking spoilers. This is going to be a spoiler-filled review. I'm not going to hold back. So if you're not looking for any spoilers, I suggest going to see the film first. But if you've seen it or you don't care about spoilers, then let's do this thing because I'm ready to talk about it. So this movie was directed by Daniel Espinoza and stars Jared Leto, Matt Smith, Adria Arona, Jared Harris, Ale Madrigal, and Tyrese Gibson. So the way I want to talk about this film a little bit, I'm going to talk about the stuff I like, talk about the stuff I don't like, kind of separate it a little bit. So honestly, there was quite a bit of stuff that I enjoyed in this film. I really liked Jared Leto's performance in this. I know some people are kind of iffy on him in general. Like he's kind of a weird guy, in his, off, when he's, kind of in his method acting and stuff like that. And so I understand it kind of puts people off, but I don't really care about. I'm able to separate the art from the artist and can judge him on what he's done in the film. And I really liked what I saw from him. Starting off with him in a very frail state. Right at the beginning, we get that scene that you get in the trailer where he's at the cave of bats and they all come rushing out at him. I thought that was going to be much late, kind of midway through the film or something. That was another thing is that, this movie, it moved. And I'm going to say this right now, that it's a positive and a negative for me, which I'll talk about a little bit later on. I did like that we weren't completely bogged down. I think it was like an hour and 45 or something like that. It wasn't too incredibly long, which, can be good, especially like, I don't mind long films. I loved the Batman, I loved, things like Infinity War and Endgame and stuff like that. I love those films. And so like, it doesn't bother me when something is long, as long as it's good. Sometimes you get a long film that just drags and you just don't want to be there. You're checking your, the time, every 20 minutes. You're like, well, is this movie over yet? I didn't feel that way at all. I didn't feel like anything dragged. So that's the positive side, I think, when it comes to the runtime. But anyways, back into, we had that scene with the bats. I really, like I said, I really thought we were going to get a more linear story, which it's fine that we kind of go there first. But then we jump back into when Morbius was a kid and he meets, he's in this hospital for sick kids and he meets this other kid, Lucian, who he calls Milo, because the way the scene kind of plays out, essentially what he does is he doesn't bother to learn people's names because they're always good. He's there and they come and go. So he just calls everybody who kind of like who shares a room with him Milo. I feel like it's never really specifically stated in the movie, but the way I interpreted it was that he doesn't want to get close to people. And so he just calls them Milo. He doesn't care. But he grows to care for this Milo, for Lucian. Lucius. I don't remember exactly if it was Lucian or Lucius, but it's Matt. Winds up being Matt Smith's character later on. And they grow up and they have, I think, a really good chemistry together. Leto and Smith. When we first see them together as adults, I believe that they're longtime friends. Maybe they don't necessarily see each other all the time or live the exact same lifestyle or anything, but you can tell, you know what I mean? They really give off that sense of that closeness, that tight knit closeness of people who've been through a lot. I know that I have friends like that. One in particular who I'm very close to, who you've seen on here before if you've watched some of the like trailer reactions and things, as well as one of the other shows that I do. And so it felt believable to me. I know that there are some people out there who didn't buy their chemistry together, but that was me. I really dug what I got from them. And then we got, his transformation, which it happened pretty quick. Like we got right into things, we didn't spend a lot of time with sickly Dr. Morbius, which I'm so used to watching Marvel films that take time. They kind of milk out the kind of opening and the origin of things that are going to happen. That's why a lot of these films are over 2 hours long. This one being a shorter one like that, you kind of had to move things along. And I think at times it worked and at times it was a detriment. Not having the space to kind of let things move at their own pace. But like I said, we get the transformation scene on the boat. We saw a lot of that in the trailer. I think they even released the majority of that clip prior to release, and it's just as cool as the first time I saw it on the internet. I went and saw this in RPX, so it was on the big giant screen, and so the effects, I don't know, I heard somebody else call them smoke effects, I guess, when he's speeding around from guy to guy on the ship. And I gotta say, I really liked those effects. It was very reminiscent of Nightcrawler from X2, where he's poofing around or bamfing around, and it, like I said, it really felt reminiscent to that, which was cool. Obviously he's not like teleporting, but is that quickness from going from place to place. And I don't think, because I heard some people saying they were confused about that, and then there's some another power that he has is the echolocation, where they kind of use that smoke effect again in a different way to kind of almost like blast outward into the world, and so he can use that echolocation. And I heard some people saying that they were confused by this because it's like, okay, is this what he is seeing? Is this does anybody else see this? And honestly, I don't even think people see the smoke effect when he's going fast. I think that's really just for us. I mean, it's possible, I guess, that they see that, but I think that's just for us. And with the echolocation, it's 100% just for us. It's just like when I was thinking about it, I was comparing this to Daredevil. It's just like that. Like, that's maybe he sees it that way. It's very possible, but nobody else does. It's more for the audience to kind of get a visual of what's happening in his head, of what he's experiencing. And so I personally thought it was really cool. I thought the ear thing was neat because and some people were comparing, like saying that they were the same thing. I don't think that's really what it is. I think it's they're a little bit of two different things. There's the echolocation, but then there's hearing. I think he also has super hearing. I don't think they're specifically connected as the exact same thing. Because hearing and echolocation are two different things. And so he's just got two different powers, which is fine. You know, lots of people have different powers. And so like Daredevil has heightened hearing as well as like a kind of almost an echolocation type of ability as well. It's not quite the same, obviously, but it's similar to that. It's, you know, the vibrations through the air and everything, and he can sense all of that. And so that it was, to me, it was very comparable to that, which is why I didn't have any sort of problem with it. I really liked Matt Smith in this role as Milo. I thought he gave a real quirkiness, which I dug. I know some people didn't like that. You know, he has this little dancing scene. I thought it was fun. You know, gave a little bit of levity, but I didn't think it was too ridiculous. You know, it shows his personality. You know, he's this more free spirited kind of guy. He seems more like, at least outwardly optimistic. You know, extroverted, and whereas Morbius seems a bit more introverted. You know, I know that, like, from experience. Like, my best friend is very much outgoing and extroverted, whereas I am much more introverted. So that really connected to me, seeing, you know, these two characters and the way their personalities kind of form. And then one of the other things that I really liked was, I'm going to say, parts of the score. I don't think the score overall was super memorable. I don't think anything was bad about the score. But overall, it wasn't the most memorable, but there were parts of it that really stood out to me and just kind of gave almost a haunting kind of vibe. And it was real kind of creepy at times. And I really dug those moments where the score kind of really accentuated what was going on in the film. I wish it had more oomph throughout, but unfortunately, that is not that is not the case. Some of the stuff I didn't care for. I thought the pacing was off. I felt like it was a bit rushed. Like it needed to breathe a bit more. Things happened real fast, and I wish that we had a little bit more time to breathe with stuff. Maybe it would have allowed things to feel a little bit more fluid, I guess. The female doctor, Martine Bancroft, I think I liked her character. I thought she was a great character. And I think that the actress played it very well. But I think that the relationship between her and Dr. Morbius felt, again, like I said, the whole pacing of it felt rushed. It didn't. I feel like I needed more time with them to develop the relationship that gets to where it winds up getting. You know what I mean? So at the beginning, they just feel like co-workers who might have a little bit of sexual tension. And then it just kind of flips. I wish that we had gotten a little bit more that could have kind of eased us into that. Even if, add, 15 minutes and just kind of work some stuff. I feel like even making this just a straight 2 hours, I think would have benefited it. If they, giving them a little bit more time to kind of work in a little bit more pacing and stuff like that throughout the film, I think it would have been better. The two cops, played by Elle Madrigal and Tyrese Gibson, I mean, I didn't really care for them, to be totally honest with you. I thought Al was really good. I thought he was funny. There were a few things where it was like, okay, like when he shakes the cat litter box and things like that. I get what they're going for. As someone who has owned a cat in the past, cats respond to noises and things. Like, for instance, my cat, I used to be able to take like an empty water bottle and crinkle it and he'd come running. So like I get it. I get what they're going for, shaking the litter box, making a noise, but like a cat isn't going to be like, "Oh, my litter box." Like if it was food, that would be 100% different. Like if it was a food bowl and he shook the food bowl, I could understand that way more, and it would have made that scene. I would have no problem with it at all. To be totally honest with you. And again, Tyrese, like he was fine, but I feel like he didn't really give me much. Yeah, I didn't. I was like, okay, like there was stuff in the trailer where he has like this bionic arm, and I don't even honestly, I don't even remember if they even show it in the movie. Like the scene that's in the trailer is definitely not there, but I don't. At least I'm pretty sure. But I don't even remember actually seeing the bionic arm. They reference the fact that he got his arm blew off in I think Afghanistan. I think he said, and it was Morbius, Dr. Morbius's synthetic blood that saved his life. And so like I'm glad that they did that, but yeah, they cut stuff. That was another thing. They cut a lot of stuff out that we saw in the trailer. So like that, the bionic arm, the Spider-Man murderer mural painted on the wall, scenes with Michael Keaton's Vulture were cut. The one where he's like, "What's up, Doc? You know, we should talk," or whatever he says. Like that was all cut. And my assumption is that because this film, I'm pretty sure, was in production before No Way Home. Before No Way Home even started production. And so where they were planning to go with this movie, I'm not 100% sure. But it seems fairly obvious that they, because of COVID and everything and getting pushed and all this stuff, they decided to take certain things out so that it made more sense in comparison to everything else that has happened. Because with like the post-credit scenes, it ties into what the events of No Way Home. And so that's if he was in the movie prior to us seeing that, it would be confusing. It'd be like, well, how is he there? Or is he just a variant? You know what I mean? But as we see in the post-credit scene, he just comes in because of the way that Doctor Strange fucks up that spell. And that's fine. I didn't mind that, though. I wasn't a big fan of like his reaction to it all. He's in prison. Adrian Toomes is in prison, and the spell happens, and he winds up being sent to this other universe, which I can buy that, because I've been saying from the get that I thought that Doctor Strange bungled that spell, and it was going to screw things up, and we know that the stuff that he did is leading to Multiverse of Madness. So obviously he messed some stuff up. And so I buy this being a thing that could happen. So he winds up in prison in this world, in this Venom verse, so to speak. And he doesn't seem all that shocked. He kind of looks in the mirror, and it almost looks like he looks different to himself, which I thought was weird, because it's like, I'm pretty sure we're not body switching here, because the cell that he was in, first off, was empty. And so it's not like he body swapped into the Adrian Toomes of that universe. And so that was weird to me. Maybe he was like, "Oh, I'm alive. Oh, whatever just happened to me didn't kill me." I don't know. But then like, he didn't seem all that weirded out. Like he's gone. He's not where he was before. He doesn't know how. And the first thing that he says is like, "I hope the food is better here," or something like that. And it's like, he in Homecoming, Spider-Man Homecoming, he's portrayed as a loving father and husband, and yet he doesn't seem to care that, well, maybe he'll never. I don't know. And maybe he just doesn't understand yet that he's literally in a different universe, and they are gone. I don't know, but he doesn't seem all that weirded out by the fact that he's now somewhere completely different like that. It's like, okay. And then we get a second one where he's because he gets out, because suddenly there's this random dude in prison that wasn't there before, so he winds up getting out of prison and somehow remakes the Vulture costume. He gets back to it and he makes the Vulture costume, and he finds Dr. Morbius, and essentially kind of they're hinting at starting the Sinister Six to go after Spider-Man. Now, is there a Spider-Man in this universe? I don't know, to be totally honest with you. The rumor is that this is going to wind up being part of the Tobey Maguire, or not Tobey Maguire, sorry, the Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man universe, which I could dig. I think that would be kind of cool. I'd love to see Andrew Garfield get another crack at doing Spider-Man after what we got to see in No Way Home, and having this Venom version, Venom and Morbius, and some of the other ones that we're going to wind up getting, McMadam Web and stuff like that, possibly Black Cat. I actually would love to see that be a thing, but we'll have to wait and see. And maybe that's another reason why they wound up taking out like the Spider-Man murderer thing, because like that was specifically linked to the Tom Holland one. At least like that's what they were making us feel like, because we had just kind of seen Far From Home and we saw what happened there, and that was like a direct reference to the events of that. And so part of me is glad that they took some of that stuff out, but part of me is like they kind of muddled a bunch of stuff together. And the other thing I want to talk about is that final battle. Overall, I didn't mind it. I thought it could have been better. Again, I think having a little bit extra time to really flesh stuff out may have worked to their benefit here, because it felt kind of rushed. And like the way Morbius is able to stop Milo felt kind of rushed as well. And what exactly happened with Martine, I'm not 100% sure. We know that Morbius gave himself the treatment to turn him, but then he brought back 2 vials. One Milo took. We know that because he used it and turned into a vampire himself. But we never saw the third, like that other vial, ever again. And at the end of the movie, Martine wakes up as a creature, and so as a vampire. And so what I want to know is, did Milo somehow turn her? Like, did he take both vials and then wound up giving it to her right before Morbius found her? And so after the fact, she winds up turning? Or because Morbius drains her or whatever, was she turned? I don't know. That's the thing. It's like we don't actually know what the hell's going on there, and it's confusing. It's just like, what? How? Give me some explanation. Even some lines of dialogue about what could happen. Maybe seeing that Milo had both vials. Who knows? And any of that kind of stuff would have been helpful, I think, to make it a little bit more clear as to what exactly happened there. I don't know if we'll actually get another one. The movie's making a lot of money. I'll say that. It surprisingly made a decent amount of money its opening weekend, and so I think there is a good possibility that we'll get another one. Will we get to see like him and Venom together? Maybe. We'll see more villains. So like I said, I think they're hinting at forming the Sinister Six. You've got Morbius. You've got Vulture most likely will be Venom then as well, because it's in that universe. I think we're gonna get Kraven, because I'm pretty sure that is a movie that's coming as well. I wouldn't be surprised if it's then also Madam Web. And they hinted, they gave us a little Easter egg. I was trying to read some of the top article lines on the Daily Bugle anytime they showed it, and I was only able to catch one, and it mentioned the chameleon. I think the chameleon like escaped, and so maybe we'll get to see the chameleon in the next movie, or in just a different movie in that universe. So maybe that'll be the Six for the Sinister Six. It's a very strange version of the Sinister Six. Definitely not a core version that we've seen in the comics and stuff. But the Sinister Six has changed many times throughout history in the comics. So, I can buy into that. So, Morbius, Venom, Vulture, probably Kraven, maybe Madam Web, maybe Chameleon. That could be an interesting Sinister Six. No matter what, I liked the movie overall. I would probably watch it again, to be honest with you. I didn't hate really anything out of it. I think it could have been better. But for me, honestly, I think I would give this a solid 6.5 out of 10. It's not great, but it's also not trash. It's above middle ground for me. And again, I would watch it. Could have used a little work, and hopefully they'll learn from this one when they go to possibly make the next one. They'll learn from their mistakes and do something a bit better. That's what I'm hoping for, and hopefully it doesn't go like I dug both Venom movies. There are things about the second one that are definitely worse than the first one, but there are also things about it that I thought were better. So it kind of balances itself out, I guess. I think, to me, I honestly thought that both Venom movies were kind of on par with one another. Again, not the greatest films, but not terrible in any way, in my opinion. But hopefully, like I said, that they learn from it, and we'll see, because I really want this new Sony Spider-Verse or Venomverse, whatever you want to call it. I know that there's a weird name for it, and I don't honestly remember what it is. But hopefully they're able to make something good out of it. I worry that they're just going to make a bunch of like 90s level kind of like B and C rated movies, which can be fun, but aren't gonna, I feel like, won't be sustainable for a large universe of multiple films. I don't find that being sustainable. We'll see. Hopefully they can get better. But I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But thank you for watching this review. Like I said, it's been a while since I've done one. And hopefully you guys liked it. My plan is to do more of these. I really want to get back into it and give you guys some more content. So thank you again. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at movieblogmerc. If you're watching this on YouTube, please be sure to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and click that little bell if you want to hear me talk about more stuff and see me post new videos. So you'll get a notification if you click that little bell. If you are listening on the podcast, you can head over to anchor.fm/movieblogmerc. You can leave me a voice message over there, which I absolutely love to hear from you guys, hear all your thoughts about the movie, positive or negative. Love to hear your thoughts. And maybe you'll even get on one of an episode or a future review or something. If you've got suggestions of things you'd like for me to review, let me know. Also, if you are listening on the Apple or Spotify, please hit me up with a 5-star review if you like what you're hearing. That really helps to boost the algorithm, get me seen by more people, which would be fantastic. I would really love that kind of support. That's the kind of support that I love. Reviews, hitting the like button, subscribing to my channel, stuff like that. It means the world to me. I know it's little, even if you click subscribe and never watch a video, it means something to me that you took the time to do that. So thank you again. And again, hit me up on Twitter at @MovieBlogMerc. And as always, guys, keep watching movies.